Oh my gosh, how are you guys doing? Just wanted to pop on here. Let's see if this will work. I'm just gonna sit. I don't know. I'm having all sorts of issues with the phone this morning. How are you guys doing? I wanted to talk a little bit about the full moon that's coming up. I can't tell, like there's like a shadow. Maybe if I sit up a little bit higher. Okay, so the full moon is on Saturday morning. It is in Libra. I can't even really talk. And whenever there's a full moon, you guys have probably heard me say this, but whenever there's a full moon, the sun is in one sign and the moon is in the complete opposite sign. And the moon moves faster than the sun and it comes around, and then we get the new moon. Obviously the sun moves a little bit, so we get the new moon where the sun and the moon are in the same sign. Okay, so that's just a little bit about the moon. The moon moves quicker than the sun. It's in a sign for about 2.5 days. And right now the moon just moved into Virgo. So that also depends how that sits with you. For some people that works really well. The moon in Virgo, and then for some people not as well. So big interesting thing is that there's just a lot happening astrologically. So if you are having a hard time, it is not a surprise. And me and a friend were just talking today, and I was just saying, like, being an astrologer, you know, it's like you can look and see what's happening, and with anything, like you can look at the energy, you can look at the astrology, you can look at reading cards or whatever divination you use, and the fact still remains that we have to go through it, right? That's life. We're meant to go through it, and we can get validation, and we can get clarity, and we can get support in that, and that's what I offer. But we still have to go through it, right? So right now we have Mercury retrograde, which will be happening till April 15th. This week only I'm doing Mercury retrograde readings, which looks at your chart and where Mercury retrograde is happening for you, what other planets are getting lit up, and all that good stuff. So if you're interested in that, definitely let me know. But so we have the Mercury retrograde happening, which I say the strongest point of the Mercury retrograde is going to be at this full moon and the day after. So we have like kind of that getting lit up. We have Aries time is just every spring. We have Aries time, and every spring we get this big kind of inertia, like this. Wait, is inertia? What's the one when you're like moving forward? Like it's a big kind of like push. And we talk about, March Madness. We talk about people getting a spring fever. Like my kids right now seem to have spring fever. And it's just a lot of energy. So every year we have this. And every year we get a full moon in Libra. What's unique about this one is that we also have Mars and Saturn conjunct each other. So just like culminating and bringing lots of energy to this Capricorn. Capricorn is the restrictive, heavy, can be like just harsh sign of productivity and pushing forward. And that's a good thing. We're getting some lessons in that. I don't know about you guys. I'm definitely getting some lessons in that. I was talking about in my Instagram live, depending on when you're born, so you might have a Saturn return happening. If you have your Saturn in Capricorn, you might have a square to your natal Saturn so that transit. If you have Saturn in Libra or Saturn in Aries, and then you might have an opposition happening if you have your Saturn in Cancer. So there's a lot happening, and if you were, depending on when you're born, you might want to look at your chart and see what things you have in a cardinal sign. So the cardinal signs are Capricorn, Aries, Libra, and Cancer. Look especially to if you have planets from 8 degrees to 12 degrees. If you do, it's a big time. And if even within 10 degrees of Libra, Aries, Capricorn, or Cancer. Okay, and so that would be an indicator that it's a good time to work with an astrologer or a healer or whatever, because it's just a big growth period that you're in. So if everybody's in this big growth period, and then for those of us who have more cardinal, you might notice just a little bit more of a push, and that can not feel so good sometimes. And really what I was talking about, so this full moon is on the 31st. We have the sun and Mercury conjunct each other, which means that the Mercury retrograde is right next to the sun, causing a little bit of confusion. When we have a full moon in Libra, Libra wants balance, wants peace, wants justice, but Aries is not all about peace and justice and can be a lot of aggression. So you might notice parts of yourself being triggered, and especially in relationships. So Libra is all about, so it's the archetype of any kind of signed contractual agreement. So if you are in a contract, hi Louise, how are you? Good to see you. We need to get in touch. Things have been so crazy. So Libra is kind of the ruler of anything where you're in a contract with someone, especially marriage, but it can be a business partnership. It can be, real estate or any kind of relationship like that. And since we're in a Mercury retrograde, that's lit up even more. And we have Saturn and Mars and Capricorn, making those responsibilities feel a little bit more heavy. So yes, yeah, totally. So just being aware that this is all happening, and it's happening for everyone. And and then we're going to get to the new moon in Aries, which is also going to be a very big time for growth and lots of other aspects to come with that. So it is a huge time astrologically. And what I'd say is it's a really good time to lean into Cancer, lean into the Cancer in your chart. So you want to look at what house Cancer's in for you and really come up with some activities that are very Cancerian, very focused on that house. Okay, so that area of your life you want to lean into. So definitely check into that. And I know for me, like when I get stressed, I was talking about this, when I get stressed, I kind of hide away. I kind of have that part of me that hides away. But my Cancer's in the 11th house, which is all about community and reaching out and like sharing. And so it was really hard for me to come on here and do it live because I am really, really stressed. But I know it's important, and I know that I want to share all the astrological things that are happening and that it is a big time. So leaning into your Cancerian part of your chart. Everybody has it. It's even better if you don't have planets there, because then it makes that energy that much more potent to lean into. And with this full moon, just wise to kind of just check yourself before you wreck yourself, always with the Mercury retrograde, but especially with this kind of full moon coming, and then with it being the most potent part of the retrograde. And there's so much more I want to talk about, but I'm going to leave it at that. I also want to tell you guys about this new thing that I'm super excited to be doing, because it's a huge share. It's a huge offering that I'm doing, but it also is very rich in content. So I'm just doing the Sparkle and Shine kind of yearly membership that is basically each month comes with the Cosmic Workbook and then a free class to go over the Cosmic Workbook and that sign. So it's all based on each zodiac sign, so you get one a month. So it's like, then we will start with Taurus, and there's only one starting point. So it will be next month to start in Taurus, so you definitely want to register if you're interested. And it's basically $3 a month for the year, but you have to register for the whole year to get that price. So it's $36 a year. I'm probably just going to do it for a year, because once you do it for that year, the last page, you will have all the information for each sign to utilize and to learn for yourself. And that's really my goal, is to have you just being able to work your own chart and work your own magic. And like I said, and I'm like repeating a lot of the same stuff that I said in my Instagram live. So if you watch this, you don't have to watch that. But I was just saying that even with that said, like for me, I still love having my chart read by different people, because different people see different things and can really help you to have that outside perspective. So this is a great time, especially if you have, if you have a lot of, cardinal energy in your chart, if you're in your Saturn return, if you're having a square to your natal Saturn, or an opposition to your natal Saturn, this is a time to get a reading. So definitely reach out. I'm available, and I would love to hear from you. I will post a link in my comments below, and let me know if you have any questions about the astrology this week, and I will also hopefully have a blog post up soon. Okay, bye guys, have a great day.